North Huntington Board of Commissioners regular meeting for Wednesday, April 21st, 2021 at 7 p.m. Roll call, Manager Silka.
Commissioner Stump.
Here.
Commissioner Atwood. Here. Commissioner Blasco.
Here.
Commissioner Zona.
Here.
Commissioner Bevan.
Here.
Commissioner Goss.
Here.
Commissioner Higas.
Here, could everyone please stand and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If any residents would like to speak tonight, if you could please sign the book at the podium. All right, let the record reflect no residents' input tonight. Approval of meetings minutes for the special meeting 3/11/21.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Discussion. All those in favor by state and aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. For the regular meeting 3/17/21.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor by state and aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved 7-0. For the budget meeting 3/24/21.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor by state and aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Payment of bills.
Make a motion, we pay vouchers 10,858 through 10,943.
Second that.
Discussion.
I do have a couple questions about, just a few things. On the first page, looks like our legal fees are up from around 6,000 to almost 9,000. Was there something that went on that, it's about the 2, 3, 4, 5th item in?
Okay. We did have a couple of lawsuits that they were working on for us.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just added up.
Second question is, we have here a line item, $13,912.81 for equipment for new vehicles. Can we elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, that is out of the capital equipment for the upgrading the new police vehicles, getting all the equipment into the police vehicles. That is a budgeted expense.
Okay, thank you. And one more. Looks like there was a pole repair for a plow truck crash for $3,400.
What number is that?
It's on the 4th page. 1, 2, 3. Looks like 5th one up. 5th or 6th one up. 1, 2, 3. There's 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
6,
pole
7.
repair.
Yes.
Yes, we, one of our plow trucks slid into a utility pole. What we'll do, we had to pay for the utility pole, then the insurance will reimburse us.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved 7-0. Staff reports, Public Works report. Director Albert. Anything to add to your report tonight, sir?
Nothing more to add, thank you.
All right. Any questions on Public Works?
Just Rich, again, continue. Thanks for the great work that you guys do in your whole department. Can you please look into, oh, wait a second. Is that road? Scotchtown Road, number 1. Scotch Hill Road 1, please. As soon as you come off of 993 and you head up, once you get to the very, very top, you'll notice there's a guardrail and there's also asphalt pads. That hillside, I fear, is getting ready to let go. There is a pipe that shoots out from the underside of the road, and man, it's got at least a 50 to 60-foot drop. And that pipe only comes out about that far from the concrete, and it's allowing, the water is falling 50 to 60 feet down, and it's eroding, it's undercutting the earth. And so you cannot get two vehicles to pass at that point. One must yield to the other because it's kind of got to go around to stay away from that road that's part of collapsing already. Yeah. I'll be more than happy to meet you out there if you'd like.
Mr. Goss, we've been aware of that condition for some time.
Okay.
you know, and been monitoring it. It's gonna be a considerable,
Yeah.
sizable amount of work,
Yeah,
you know, and we've, been just taking it step by step with some other projects that we feel are priority.
Mhm.
But, we haven't monitored, I'm aware of the
Okay.
condition of it, and, you know, if anything transpires, it hasn't gotten any worse. Certainly hasn't gotten any better, but, you know,
Right.
we have plans on doing something here in the future.
okay. All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thanks. Anything else on Public Works? Thank you. Park and Recreation, Director Miller. Anything to add to your report tonight?
Tomorrow we celebrate Earth Day, so I do want to remind you to please spread the word about our Braddock's Trail wildflower walking tours, which continue every Saturday. Because of the early spring, these wildflowers have all popped up, and it's another nice asset to our park.
Thanks. Any questions for Parks?
Hey, Dan, I have a couple of things for you. First, going along with the Braddock's Trail Parks, as much as I know that you're looking to deter the ATVs and dirt bikes in the park, every year you're requesting the police services, and I have to say no every year, but last year we discussed looking into trail cams. Is that something that we looked at a little bit further to see if we can catch anybody that's actually riding in there? I mean, is the deterioration of the paths getting much more, significantly more, damage from continued use, especially with people being stuck at home and limited recreational opportunities?
Sure. That seems to be a seasonal activity, which is why we request police help on that, and Chief Rizzo and his staff have been cooperative with that. The trail cams, that might be a question that probably Chief Rizzo can answer. He and I discussed that with Manager Silka about a year ago. I do know that there's a recent, I think it's a trail cam that we recently purchased, but I don't believe it was for the parks, but it might be for some other use.
Okay, just thoughts.
So we don't have any current cameras there now. As far as the trails getting any worse, they're not deteriorating any worse. The only thing is we're having more public access. We're finding different accesses, because every time we do block one off,
They
they
build a
seem
new
to find
one.
another way in.
Yeah, that's the hard part there. Second thing, Director Miller and I met back in September. We talked about upgrades to Indian Lakes, and I really appreciate you guys taking that initiative. And Indian Lake looks fabulous. The sections of that
Thank you.
the fence being removed, the cleanup in between the upper trail and the hiking trails, and then the new pavilion. I'm sure that will be a nice addition as well. The last thing, coming on a little bit later in the agenda, I asked Director Miller, for the new Schuster plan, there's going to be a fee and lieu program for that plan. I just wanted to ask, that money is going to be directed towards Lions Park, and I was asking Director Miller to kind of elaborate what some of his plans would be with those funds to enhance Lions Park as we kind of go towards the more community parks away from the neighborhood.
I think when you refer to the new Schuster plan, you're talking about the Thomas Estates, the new
Correct.
Kerber plan
Yes.
off of Guffey Road. Yes. All of our parks get dedicated fee and lieu money with new development. The Thomas Estates plan, Director Fonzie and I discussed the other day, and we have dedicated money to Lions Park for fee and lieu from Thomas Estates. So as that money starts to roll in, the money will be dedicated to Lions Park. The current plan right now is at Lions Park. Our overall budget, and forgive me, I don't have this at my fingertips, but we have approximately $75,000 in fee and lieu. Of that, that's dedicated to 3 different parks, our regional parks, Oak Hollow, Indian Lake, and Lions. Lions has approximately $15,000 currently sitting in there prior to the Thomas Estates plan coming in. Of that $15,000 in our 2021 budget that you all approved, we do have money that is dedicated for outdoor fitness equipment that will be coming into Lions Park this year.
Yeah.
Any other things that will be dedicated through fee and lieu money, we will try and chip away at our master park plan that was designed in 2019.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else on Park and Recreation?
I do have one thing. Director Miller, thank you for putting together those snippets about the parks that we're going to be sending out in conjunction with the school district for the e-blast. I looked over them. They all look great, and I just really encourage the community to watch for them when they come out. It's going to be a nice addition to that.
I know that's a cooperative effort between yourself, Manager Silk, and Dr. Taylor over at the school district, but I certainly want to recognize Jonathan Beskid for helping put that together as well.
Thanks, Director Miller. Emergency Management Report. Anything on emergency management tonight?
Yeah, hello, my name
Thank you. Police report, Chief Rizzo. Anything to add to your report tonight, Chief?
We've been pushing it out on our social media. This Saturday we're participating in the DEA Drug Take Back. It'll be at our station, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's generally a very successful event, and we're busy for that whole 4 hours. So I just wanted to make the announcement that that's happening again. We've been pushing it out on our social media. I feel like pretty much everybody that's going to know it needs to be there, they're going to know about it. Also, as I talked at our last meeting, we're beginning the big push for all of our community engagement events. So the first one we just scheduled, which is our Junior Police Academy. It's going to be the June 14th through the 18th. We're going to be running on daylight hours at Oak Hollow Park. It's going to run from 8 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We have booked the pavilion already up there. We have several local businesses that are willing to sponsor some of the community events, which will offset costs for food and shirts. And we're working on, the officers already have the whole agenda put together, and working in conjunction with some other agencies to make this the first time we've ever done a day camp like this for the Junior Police Academy. It's going to be very limited, 24 the first year, ages 11 to 15. We're going to get applications out on the new website that just went rolling. Hopefully we'll be able to get them up there shortly, as soon as we're done finalizing everything. So I definitely wanted to get that out. I will get a further update, and then we'll start doing a social media push for it. I anticipate we should be able to fill the slots fairly easy. That'll be the first of many coming up. As I told you, we have an ambitious plan for the remainder of the year, rolling all the way up to Carving with the Cop, rolling out the back end of the year. So we're going to be busy for the next few months. Okay?
Thanks. Anything for the chief? Thanks, Chief.
One other thing, Brian, the patrols, we're getting the off-roads in the parks. We did discuss trail cams. We do have a law enforcement trail cam, which we, when available, we will get down there. We can even discuss, purchasing a couple more. So, we'll talk about that with Manager Silka, and we'll come up with a plan. But we've already had the bikes down there once. We'll get them back down there. Okay.
Thanks. Engineering report. I'm not seeing anything on engineering report tonight. Planning and zoning report, Director Fonzie. Any questions on the fire officials report tonight? All right, subdivision land development, Director Fonzie.
Yes, I have 4 items in front of you for approval tonight. The first is subdivision 3 of 2021, the Silva Sage boundary line revision at Ardera Road and Sage Lane. I'm requesting board action to approve this subdivision.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor by state and I.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
Okay, the second subdivision is subdivision 4 of 2021, the Jacko Andrikovic plan at Ridge Road and Lynch Drive, requesting board action to approve the subdivision.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor by state and I.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
The third item is subdivision 5 of 2021, Mountain Ridge Estates Revision 8, Forest Oaks Trail, requesting action to approve this subdivision.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor by state and I.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
And last item is subdivision 7 of 2021, the Thomas Farm Acres residential subdivision at Guffey Road, requesting board action to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
I do have a question. Sorry, I do have a question. The sidewalks, what is the reasoning for not putting them in, other than the fact of the grading of the land? Because I see sidewalks in other neighborhoods that seem to be the same.
Yeah, I mean, that was the push because I believe the applicant stated that approximately 75% of the sidewalks were going to be a higher grade. That's what was told to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission voted on that waiver, and that's what made its way to you. So it's the applicant's right to ask for that waiver.
Okay.
Any other discussion? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor by state and I.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Roll call vote, Manager Silka.
Commissioner Stump,
Yay.
Commissioner Atwood,
Nay.
Commissioner Blasco,
Yes.
Commissioner Zona,
Yes.
Commissioner Bevan,
Yes.
Commissioner Goss,
Yes.
Commissioner Higas.
Yes. Motion approved, 6-1.
That's all I have.
Right, thank you. Solicitors report, Solicitor Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. President. There are no action items on the solicitor's report for this month.
All right, thank you. Township Managers report, Manager Silka.
Okay, thank you. A few items this evening. The first is action to approve the March check register.
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
The budget report for March 2021 is provided for your review. The next item is action to approve a resolution supporting House Bill 606 and Senate Bill 419 for use of local radar.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
Next is motion to advertise an ordinance amending the Act 172 EIT credit to $500.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
I have something on this as well. In order to promote longevity with these volunteers, perhaps we could start maybe at $250 like it is, and then for every year, they get an extra $50. So after that 5 years, we can get them to the 500. I mean, there's no point in someone signing up for 1 year, getting the discount, and then being like, oh, well, maybe this isn't for me, and moving on. I mean, we're looking to get volunteers and keep volunteers. I think the incentive should be a growing incentive.
I think my response would have to be is, again, it depends on your earned income. So earning that $500, you'd have to be earning an income of $100,000. So setting it at $250 still puts you at a $50,000 income. I mean, I agree with you, Jason, you're trying to pull people in, but if you get them for 1 year, 1 year is better than none, in my opinion. But I do agree that, again, but the request that I got was, this is a way to pull people into that and retain, especially some of the older members of the fire department that can easily make better time of their day.
Yeah, and Craig Kokenauer sat in the audience last week, and Craig advised us that there's a lot of I's and a lot of T's to cross. And not everybody that's on the fire departments is going to be eligible for this. So there is a pretty much big criteria. So I don't think that we're going to see a lot of people, eligible for this. But I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, it comes down to, they have to meet a certain amount of volunteer hours as far as making calls, training, and volunteer for fundraising. So if they don't meet that criteria, they don't make the list, and the chief of the departments approve that list and send it on to us. So I don't think the number of people is probably going to change. It's just the benefit that the members that are currently volunteering are going to get increased.
And Jason, we had 15 members out of all our departments meet that 250 number this past year, so 15 is, pretty minor.
And I would just say, too, I agree with what everyone said. I think we want to get the people in now, and I think with the 500, it might get them in initially. And again, like Brian said, it isn't automatically 500. It could go up to 500. It's not automatically 500. So I would agree with that.
The maximum you could earn is 0.5% of your earned income, so it's, depending on your wage, that's what it all comes down to.
So should we reword this to say credit up to $500? Or?
Well, what that's doing is changing the number in the ordinance. The number already reads up to $500, but you cannot exceed what you pay into it.
Okay.
Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
The next item is action to accept a $24,634 matching grant for body-worn cameras from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
I have a question. I don't know if it's, Jeff, for you or for Chief. Do we have a cost on the storage of the video? And is that included? I know we have
Yes.
a 5-year payment plan laid out.
Yeah, so it's
for this.
included, and it's also an
Okay.
upgrade for, we're gonna replace all of our old car camera systems, so it's
Right.
one giant package. We're gonna do
Okay.
all of the vehicles, the
The
body worn
storage is
cameras,
all included in that
storage,
price, okay.
and then there's replacement costs down the road where we get upgraded equipment. Yeah, it's a complete package for all of it.
Yeah, we get the so many free upgrades. I saw that in.
Yeah, the batteries, the body cams, 5 years, all that, the warranty goes the whole time, so, yeah, it's for the whole, and then they all link together, so, and it's all under one roof,
Okay,
yeah.
thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
Any other discussion? All those in favor by saying an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
The next item is action to reduce the bond on Tuscan Hills Plan Phase 2 to $54,800.90 and release $26,833.95 to Dundia LLC per the recommendation of the interim township engineer.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor by stating an aye.
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 Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
Next is action to reduce the bond on the Lincoln Corner site plan to $12,000 and release $995,394.50 to Lincoln Corner per the recommendation of the interim township engineer.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
I have one thing. This is either for Ryan, I don't see Bob in the audience, even Jeff. It says that as-built plans of the stormwater detention system have not been submitted at this time.
Correct.
I don't know how in-depth that is, but that $12,000 hold that we're gonna keep on that bond, if their stormwater system is not done properly or their plans are not done properly, does that $12,000 potentially cover what would have beat?
All they need to do is submit the actual paper documents.
Okay.
So everything's in and inspected. That's
Okay.
why we're holding $12,000 just for the documents.
Okay, so the physical components are all
Yes.
set.
I also have a question about that. Is the developer responsible at all to North Thompson Lane, the condition of it, taking the equipment over?
If there's damage done to it, yes.
Okay, the road is in really bad shape.
We'll have the engineer take a look at it, yeah. In fact, they were actually, I believe, told a couple of times that at the end of the day, they would they'd clean it up and make it good.
And Jeff, to add on to that, the landscaping around that along Route 30, and whether it's North or South Thompson, I can't think of what that is that complete the way that it's at? I mean, it's kind of, they did throw some grass and other stuff down, but it still looks pretty not manicured, we'll say.
I can't, I don't have the plans in front of me, to landscaping, I think, our landscaping does some buffers, does some little stuff, you may have to green up a little bit, I can't speak of that, we can get back to you on, what's needed to be done on that plan.
Okay.
But basically, they have everything in the plan that the plan calls for because the bond's being released for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? I had a motion and a second. All those in favor by stating an aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
Roll call vote, Manager Silka.
Commissioner Stump,
no,
Commissioner Atwood,
Yes.
Commissioner Blasco, Commissioner Zona,
Yes.
Commissioner Bevan,
Yes.
Commissioner Goss, Commissioner Hygus.
Yes. Motion approved, 5-2.
Okay, next is action to hire Jayden Hook for the seasonal position of park laborer at the budgeted rate conditioned upon successful pre-employment drug and alcohol testing.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Jeff, for all of these, are we still doing criminal child abuse background checks for these employees, especially working in the parks?
We don't have, because they're not supervising, we don't have to incur the cost of the child abuse checks. But we do a background check on them, and then the DNA check.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
Action to hire Christopher Brandhoover for the seasonal position of park labor at the budgeted rate, conditioned upon successful pre-employment drug and alcohol testing.
Motion to approve.
Discussion. All those in favor by saying an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
Action to hire Jordan Wardman for the seasonal position of park laborer at the budgeted rate, conditioned upon successful pre-employment drug and alcohol testing.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor by saying an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
The candidate for number 11 has withdrawn, so we won't have to do a motion for that. 12 is action to appoint Timothy R. Barger to the Emergency Management Committee for a 4-year term.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor by stating an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved, 7-0.
That is all I have, sir.
All right, thank you, Manager Silka. Any further board comments tonight?
I do have one last thing for tonight. Speaking of North Thompson Lane, a few people who live off of there have asked me about weight limits on that road. I am not sure what the weight limits would be. I know we've discussed trucks using First Street and to get down, cut through our township to get to where they need to go. But North Thompson is also a road the trucks use. It's smaller, they get to the top, they can have a hard time making the turns. I wasn't sure if there was something we had in place already or something we can discuss, now or at a future date, whatever.
If you do a weight limit on that road, the fire department is there, and they would be subject to that as well. The trucks have to have a way to come off of Route 30 and the Turnpike. Now, that's more.
The other way.
Pardon me?
The turnpike's the other way.
Yeah, but trucks come off both ways. They go both directions. But there's a lot of traffic comes that way. So I don't know how you would restrict that road. Now, some of the back roads from there, definitely.
I mean, if we're already restricting First Street going down through, turning off Pennsylvania Avenue and going down, that's a much bigger road than North Thompson. I understand Straw Pump Fire Department's right there, but, I see a lot of, I actually sat there and waited for a truck to back down and turn around because he couldn't make the turn the one night. It just seems to be, a lot of people have complained to me about it to live on that stretch. I know 3 or 4 people there, and I told them I'd bring it up. And I think it would be just something to protect our, especially the condition of the road and the people that live there.
To legally post the road, we would have to do an engineering study, we have to do core borings to see what the load of the road is. You just can't, as Pennsylvania Avenue in another municipality, just simply put signs up. You can't do that and legally enforce it. There is an emergency management waiver, so so trucks could pass on emergency situations. But it's a costly situation to see what exactly the road is, and if it comes out that it's stable, you can't post it. So you'd be basically spending money to say, no, we can't post it. I mean, it's something the board can discuss, upcoming, but there is a specified engineering procedure to post a road.
The reason that First Street has the restriction is because at the end of First Street, when you go into Manor, you have to go one way on Hill Street, and that's a narrow road through Hempfield. The trucks get to Hill Street, and then they find that they can't make that width down that hill. So that's why there's a restriction there.
I mean, we're seeing the same thing with trucks not being able to make the turn onto Pennsylvania Avenue from North Thompson. With the condition of the road and the trucks that have been going up and down it, and, I just see that it's deteriorating pretty quickly, and, I think maybe there's,
We could have Bob Robertson take a look,
Yeah.
and we take a look at the turning radius, and he could come back with us with a report.
Yeah, two different things. I mean, posting for weight and posting for size is two different things. So we can have some turning templates going on that road and possibly take a look at that.
Jeff, if Alexander Brensel withdrew her name, so we're still looking for one seasonal parks employee. and-
Yeah, well, we actually have, I believe, 3 openings in the park, and then we have, I believe, 5 openings in Public
So
Works.
still potentially 8 employees that we're.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other further board comments tonight?
Yeah, I would like to have maybe engineering come out with me and do a walk on St. Clair. There is the flooding between St. Clair, 7 to 8 houses get flooded when substantial rain comes in, and it seems to be coming off of Route 30. So I'd like to have somebody walk with me on the
Yep.
properties. Thanks, appreciate it.
Anything else from the board tonight? If not, I just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Discussion. All those in favor by state and aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Meeting adjourned at 7:30.